Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach, and footy is here. How good is it? It's great to have it. It was lovely waking up this morning knowing that the game was going to be on. I am working this Arvo, which is a bit of a pity, so I'll probably miss the first half, but I'm looking forward to knocking off, watching plenty of footy over the weekend. It's going to be good. With that sort of comes the real decisions we've got to make. We've got to finalise our side, so I'll have a bit of a team reveal on Friday. I was planning on doing it today, but I thought I just need to see a few more of these rookies. So that's how that one landed. But thanks for everyone who jumped onto the live stream the other day too. Again, that was a lot of fun and plenty of questions answered, which was cool. Apologies about the technical issues where I just pulled out my microphone halfway through and had to refresh it and screwed up half people's questions. But we got there in the end, and hopefully I got round to you. Now, today I just wanted to talk about the captaincy loophole, and I think this is something that most people are certainly aware of and understanding of, but, I think it's a good little bit of knowledge to just touch on every now and then. There is one video on my page about it, but I thought I'd sort of rehash it and just run through it because it does give you a huge advantage. It just gives you 2 cracks at a captain score, and it involves having a loophole that is a scoring 0, or at least a playing 0. So it'll make a bit more sense when I jump into the side. But what I will say off the top is I wouldn't create a loophole player. Traditionally, it's been our R3 because there's been no options in R3. But we've actually got some R3 options this year. So I wouldn't go searching for a 0, there's not many guys down back, I'll just have a 0. I see Fife in a lot of teams. Just see what the teams do, but I wouldn't go searching for a 0 because your loophole 0 will find itself in the opening few weeks. Someone will get dropped or a rookie will get injured, something like that. So that question will be answered. Certainly don't deny yourself the ability to, earn more money. If you deliberately pick a loophole guy, you miss out on a chance to maybe earn 200,000 off a rookie. So let's jump straight into it. And let's just say, for argument's sake, let's say we're going to put the C on Neil. He's our secondary captain option, and let's just say Dangerfield. We'll go with that just for example's sake. I've put Fife in my team just for this example today. Now, a few things you've always got to understand and realise is I like to map out the loophole before I even have to execute it, because there's been times where I've thought early on that I've done the right things, and then I actually can't swap this guy, or I actually can't do certain things. So just be really thorough, because if you stuff it up, it can actually be pretty damn costly. But the idea of it is to have a free shot at a VC. So Neil's our captain. And again, just make sure games aren't overlapping. Check the start times. I can't stress enough to be thorough as anything. So let's just say we've got Fife there kicking around. We're watching Saturday afternoon to see what Danger does. Oh, boom, he's knocked out 162. How good's that? All right, I want to take that vice-captain score and make it my captain score. How do I do that? Well, this is how you do it. So we're not going to want Neil to be our skipper anymore. So what you're going to need to do is to put Fife on the field, and boom, you're the skipper, Fifey. And just, be 100% sure that guys aren't even in the emergencies, because I've seen it where a guy comes in as an emergency and scores 46 as your captain and people didn't even realise. And then the crucial bit is we've done that. That will make sure Danger is our skipper. But what you've then got to do is, if you want Highmore, and this is where you've got to check. You've got to check that not only do your vice-captain and your skippers not overlap and it's all in the right order, but you've got to make sure that you can, your rookies can be swapped. So, for example, if the Saints played on Friday night and the Hawks played on Saturday Arvo, then that wouldn't be too much good to us, because he would have been already played. He would have already been locked out. So we couldn't actually get that. So that's really what you've got to be absolutely certain on. So it's crucial to make sure you've got all bases covered, because the last thing we want is what should have been an advantage to actually destroy us. Now, I will also... Now, the vice-captain loophole is something... So if that all makes good sense, yeah? So you've got VC, Danger's had a great score. Fife is now... He's a 0, but he's your captain. So the fact that he doesn't play means that your vice-captain becomes the double score. And the fact that he's a non-playing 0 means we get the emergency. So we have all bases covered. We get the vice-captain score that we wanted. Excuse me. And we get the emergency as well. So don't fear. Don't think that his emergency and he's going to come in as the skipper. It will be your vice-captain score. Now, that is the basics of it. It is pretty simple. There will be some weeks where it works and there's a few more options than others. There will be weeks where, maybe it's not worth using, but you can normally always have a dabble on the Friday night at the very least. But what I will do is also show you the emergency loophole, which can be handy. This one I wouldn't encourage as much because it can be a little bit fiddly, but let's just say we'll put the skipper back on Neil. And what I always find interesting is just make sure that you reset your emergencies, because what you don't want to do is have an emergency already set that's already played. So that's probably the biggest mistake I see with the loophole is, say, start of the round I've gone, Kazitsky, he'll be in my emergency, and then I've gone to go, I want to take Danger's score, put Fife here, and then you go, Kazitsky only scored average or something like that. Like it can stuff you around at times. That's probably a poor example of how it could, but I have seen it at times where preset emergencies can hurt you. But all right, let's just hypothetically, we'll stay in the back line. So let's take a look at an example for emergency loophole. So say Kazitsky, he's playing Saturday night. You've got Gold Coast playing Sunday, and you've got Highmore playing on Sunday as well in the Arvo game. Now, Fife is a really handy option at this situation because he's the last game of the round. Your floating 0 will sometimes be on Saturday. He could be on Friday night, so it doesn't do you any favours. But the fact that we have a lot of flexibility because Fife is in the last game of the round. But, for example, you don't know who to field out of Kazitsky and Highmore. So why not take a little look at what Kazitsky can do? So, emergency loophole. It's on Kazitsky. He comes out, he scores 84. You're like, yep, I'll take that. You leave it. You leave it alone. So you get a look at that 84, bang, straight in. Comes out and scores 47. You're like, no thanks. Then boom, Highmore onto the ground. Then you see what Highmore does. He could only score 51. You know what I mean? Like, he might go trash too. And then you say, well, there's nothing I could have done. But it is a good chance to just see what a guy can do. Again, the cons with this one is that, you can sometimes leave yourself vulnerable if someone that you don't expect to be a late withdrawal is actually a late out. Someone that totally catches you off guard and you're at work and you can't make the changes, that type of thing. So just make sure, again, that if you're taking these little loopholes, that you're as diligent as you can possibly be and you're thorough and you're checking the final teams and that there's no late outs and all that sort of thing. So hopefully that all makes sense. You've got Cozzy there. He scores well. You like it. Bang, Fife isn't playing 0. You get Cozzy's score. Boom, Dangerfield scored 162. Love it. Get him as the captain. Obviously, you can't combine them because if I was trying to do both, trying to do a captain loophole, which I've executed there, and an emergency loophole, well, that ain't going to work because I can't swap those two guys now. I can't see what Kazitsky gets with the option of playing Highmore. I've got to sort of stick to it. But as we get along, you might be able to do it across other lines as well. So I hope that's been explained fairly well, and I hope that makes sense. It's just something I feel like we've got to do, particularly the vice-captain loophole. I just think it's crucial to do. So it gives you it doesn't even give you a one-up on the competition. It just makes sure that you're doing what everyone else is doing, basically. So, yeah, let's see how we go. All the best for the weekend. I can't wait for tonight. So thanks again for tuning in. Enjoy the footy, and I'll be back. Cheers.